We pick up in Psalm 82 and verse 6. When we make judgments, judge according to God's holy word. Verse 6 of Psalm 82 reads, I said, you are gods, and all of you are sons of the Most High. The word gods is the Hebrew word Eloah, meaning gods in an ordinary sense of those in authority. It is occasionally applied by way of esteem to magistrates and even sometimes to a powerful angel. But specifically, Elohim, used in a plurality, especially means the supreme God. Jesus quotes this passage in John 10:31 through 38. Again, the Jews picked up rocks to stone him. Jesus replied, I have shown you so many good works from the Father. Which of these works are you stoning me for? We aren't stoning you for good works, the Jews answered, but for blasphemy, because you, being a man, make yourself out to be God, the supreme deity. That would have been Elohim. Jesus answered them, Isn't it in your scriptures, I said you are gods, magistrates, Eloah? He called those to whom the word of God came to gods, and the scriptures cannot be broken. Do you say, you are blaspheming the one the Father has set apart and sent into this world because I said I am the Son of God? If I'm not doing my Father's works, don't believe me. But if I'm doing them and you don't believe me, believe the works. This way you will know and understand that the Father is in me and I am in the Father. They accused him of blasphemy because they believed he portrayed himself as God, Elohim, instead of Eloah. Jesus was telling these Jews that they were sitting in judgment, and the one who sits in the place of judgment, he is acting on behalf of God. The Apostle Paul writes about this in 1 Corinthians 4 and 5. The one who elevates me is the Lord. Therefore don't judge anything prematurely before the Lord comes, who will both bring to light what is hidden in darkness and reveal the intentions of the heart. And then praise will come to each one from God. When we start judging someone, aren't we acting in place of God, taking on the act of judging? And if it is not in line with the Word of God, we make ourselves out to be as if we were little gods. I was reading a while ago the late Dr. McGee's comment on the 1953 trial and execution of Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. He writes, years ago I was greatly impressed by that judge in New York City who presided at the trial of the husband and wife who were charged with being spies. The judge was a Jew, and he said that the night before he handed down his judgment, he spent it in prayer. That judge was actually standing in the place of God when he judged the lives of these two people. They would have to forfeit their own lives for the crime against the government. A man in that position ought to be a godly man. He should be a man of prayer. In a position that is just as serious as the judge in the preceding story, the position that God has placed parents in has eternal consequences for both the parent and the child. God has charged the parent with the responsibility of raising godly children. We read in Colossians 3:19 through 20 that husbands are to love your wives and don't be bitter toward them. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Listen to God's instructions to children in Proverbs 6:20 through 24. It reads, My son, keep your father's command and don't reject your mother's teaching. Always bind them to your heart, tie them around your neck. When you walk here and there, they will guide you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. When you wake up, they will talk to you. For a command is a lamp, teaching is a light, and corrective discipline is a way to life. They will protect you from an evil woman, from the flattering tongue of a stranger. And then there is the wise counsel in Proverbs 22:6. Teach a youth about the way he should go, and even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Here's a thought. What if parents were to encounter their own child on their way to the lake of fire after sentencing by the judge of judges, who condemned them to the place of eternal punishment. The parents might ask the children, "What are you doing here?" Would they cringe at the offspring's response? When the offspring responded, "Why? We were just following your example."